Right now we're sitting at 84 degrees, but with that extra humidity, it feels like we're touching 90 degrees today. It is very sticky outside, guys. Elsewhere across the area, most of us are sitting in the upper 70s, even into the lower 80s, 84 out in Katy as well as in Conroe as well. We're seeing those windy gusts as we continue through the rest of the day. We've seen them all day today. Our wind advisory just expired, but we're already seeing a wind advisory for tomorrow. That's going to set us up for our next storm system, which, by the way, is starting to move further to the south and to the east. That'll bring the chance of some severe weather tomorrow, and I'll have that all timed up for you coming up. Joel?
Amanda, thanks for...
But tonight, it's going to be fine.
Okay.
We're going to be a little warm, a little muggy out there, of course, but overnight, tonight into tomorrow, really we need to start becoming way up into the east part of the United States. But look at over Tennessee, Kentucky, and even stretching down into Mississippi. That's where you see this tornado watch. You see these flashing boxes here. Those are severe thunderstorm warnings and flash flood warnings. Thankfully for our area right now, we are sitting very dry. In terms of rain, it's still very muggy outside. It's pretty gross, actually, if you step outside, but that's what we're pretty much expecting for the next couple of days. So as the system starts to track further to the south and to the east, watch as we go through your future track. Tonight, again, we're going to remain fairly clear. Most of us are going to go to bed pretty dry. We're going to keep that cloud cover around, which is going to help keep those temperatures warm again. So if you're looking for that cooler weather, unfortunately, we're not seeing it. When you wake up tomorrow morning for work, again, we're going to stick that cloud cover right around. You may see some peaks of sunshine through the day, but as we get into the afternoon hours, you may want to watch out, especially areas to the north of the Houston area, areas like the Woodlands up towards Conroe, San Jacinto County. You guys may get some of those nasty, stronger storms popping up on radar. As we get into those evening hours, things start to die down a little bit. Maybe out in Polk County there, you may see a pop-up shower. And by the time we get into Saturday evening, or Saturday early morning hours, I should say, again, things start to clear up. But Saturday's the big day to watch out. As we get into those afternoon hours, notice that that line forms ahead of that stationary front. We're going to continue to see stronger activity as we get into those afternoon hours. What we're really seeing is over the next couple of days where we have this severe weather chance, 1 out of 5 for areas north of Houston for your day on Friday. But Saturday, again, is the big day to watch out, and now we've extended that into parts of the Houston area for a 2 out of 5, where we're watching for the chance for damaging hail, winds, and also an isolated tornado cannot be ruled out. But once we get past the system, notice how we get those temperatures dropping down into the 60s for your day on Sunday. It's going to be downright chilly compared to what we've seen, but we'll start to moderate those temperatures again for the week ahead. Notice how we'll be very seasonable. It's going to feel great out there for the next week. We're going to have plenty of sunshine out there, guys. Definitely get out there to enjoy it as we get into the following week. We'll be back after a short break. Fairly quiet. We have the afternoon storms popping up through the early afternoon hours. Friday.
So we've been patient and we saw a little bit of sunshine today.
We did see a little bit of sunshine today, but that helps to destabilize the atmosphere. So in terms of severe weather chances, it's not necessarily, there is no sunshine out there right now, which is actually a good thing in terms of the chances of severe weather. We're still sitting at 83 degrees, but notice that we have those gusty winds still. That's going to continue with us through tomorrow. So we had that wind advisory in effect until 5 o'clock this afternoon. We're going to keep that advisory with us through from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. tomorrow. Not only that, we're going to watch the chance for severe storms for tomorrow as well as Saturday. We're going to repeat that all over again for the weekend. But after a cold front, it's going to be a big cool down coming up. Here's our current system, though. Notice that it stretches pretty far where there's a lot of activity up to our north and northeast. That's bringing our next chance of severe weather. So let's time it out for you guys here with our future track radar. Tonight, when you go to bed, notice that we're going to be fairly dry out there. We're going to see that cloud cover continue with us. But as we go into the overnight hours, again, very clear out there in terms of rainfall. We're not going to see any rainfall as we go into the overnight hours. But as you wake up tomorrow for work, you may want to bring that umbrella with you, as we do see a line of storms forming out ahead of that front by the afternoon hours. This is for areas north of the Houston metro area, stretching up towards north of Conroe and also into the Trinity County area. As you go through those afternoon and even into the early evening hours, we start to dry things out yet again, but some downpours may form out towards the east of the Houston area. We dry things out yet again as we get into the Friday evening hours, but once we get into Saturday, here's where we see that big change. By the mid-morning hours, some line of storms may form out ahead of that slow-moving front. And as we get through hour by hour, notice that it peaks in intensity and it stretches down through the Houston metro area. We're going to continue to keep you guys updated with newer model data as it comes out. But as we get into the next couple of days, we want to stay weather aware as we do have that severe risk, not only for tomorrow, but extending that into Saturday. Notice how all of the Houston area is included in that 2 out of 5 risk, and we're going to monitor the threats of hail, damaging winds, as well as tornadoes. We're going to see a big dip in those temperatures in that 10-day forecast, but it's going to be a beautiful second week of April. We'll be back with sports after the break. Let's look at your Houston area Chevy dealers cam. A lot of us are pretty much still seeing that cloud cover up there. We're sitting at 77 degrees and we're really not going to cool down all that much more by this time tomorrow or by when you wake up tomorrow morning. Notice that we have a higher dew point as well. We can thank those breezy south-southeast winds out there. Again, we're seeing those gusts gusting upwards to almost near 30 miles per hour out there. That's going to be the main story as we get into portions of tomorrow. So here's what we're watching and tracking. We have a wind advisory already in effect from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. tomorrow. This is going to again help fuel the chance of severe weather as we get into your Friday and Saturday, but we do have a big cool down coming. Guys, I'll have the full forecast coming up.
Storms coming. We want you to be prepared. So when should we expect this to start?
So earliest is tomorrow afternoon,
okay,
and then we're going to stick with this until Saturday.
Saturday.
So here into the northeast there has been a lot of activity with the system, especially behind it. Notice all of these watches and warnings all out there. But right now for us here in Houston, we are sitting fairly clear in terms of rain. We're still shrouded in the cloud cover out there, which is helping to keep us on the more mild side. So with new model data, here's what we're getting the live first look at our newest model here. This is our extended high resolution model. So as you go to bed tonight, notice that we're going to remain fairly dry. We're still going to keep that cloud cover. Again, we're only going to wake up to temperatures in the 70s. By tomorrow afternoon, though, notice that we're already starting to see some activity pop up on the radar and some fairly strong activity, especially east of the Houston metro. That's going to stick with us as we go through the next several hours into your Friday, but that's going to last with us even into your Saturday. By the time you get into Saturday afternoon to the early evening hours, definitely keep tracking with us as we continue to track this system out into the weekend. That system is going to be a fairly robust system as we get into the Saturday afternoon time frame. And unfortunately, my model data stopped working there. But we're going to continue to keep tracking this. So again, stick with us. This system is very widespread. Notice that it stretches all the way up to the southern portions of the Midwest. But notice that red outline here. This is the area to watch for the strongest storms. That's your moderate 4 out of 5 risk, anywhere from the Texarkana area stretching up into Arkansas. That's where they're going to have or see the strongest storms. For us here in the Houston area, though, again, this is for Friday. Most of us here in Harris County are going to be very sitting pretty quiet in terms of the severe weather. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if they do extend that 1 out of 5 risk down, especially with that newer model data. But our friends up in the Brazos Valley and into the Piney Woods, you guys have a 1 out of 5 to a 2 out of 5 risk for severe weather for Friday. But for Saturday, that is a completely different case as that 2 out of 5 stretches down to the coastline and even includes us here in the Houston area. So we're going to keep watching this over the next 24 hours, especially once we get better model data. And the threats that we're looking for are going to be hail, winds, and an isolated tornado cannot be ruled out. Once we get past that system, though, notice that those temperatures take a dip until we get into the mid portions of the next week. We'll be back after a short break. In April?
Yeah, get those sweatshirts ready.
Right.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Amanda. Well, remember, you can watch KPRC2 News anytime, anywhere on your phone or on your TV. Just scan a QR code and search KPRC wherever you stream.
Well, thank you for watching KPRC2 News at 10. Join Owen, Sophia, and Justin tomorrow.